Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I picked these two. So I'm gonna veer away from just one since I have this little one I want to do. So these are back to the Into resin molds, and of course I see glitter already in there. I did measure them. So it's another small pour day. So this took about a ½ ounce, this took about a ½ ounce, and this took about 3 ounces. Not quite 3 ounces. So I only need 4 ounces to do everything today. This, I'm thinking, if you wanted just a flower for something, so this mold is a dual purpose because this will just give you a flower as far as I know. That's what it looks like anyway. We'll see when we're done. I'm going to paint this. Let me just start painting that green, the stem green. There's a few leaves here, but what I wanted to do, I don't know if it's really going to help me or not because it is a matte mold. Excuse me, so I don't really mind. I'm just trying to like not make a huge mess inside there. This is chrome green, and since I'm going to be putting some alcohol ink drips in here, I figured let's do chrome so it doesn't matter what color I pour it in or what color gets behind it. We should still get this green color out of it. So I almost went and got like a Dianca Pours green, but the colors that I pour inside will affect that color. So that's why I'm going with a chrome, or you can go with a chameleon if you are worried about the colors affecting something. So I'm just kind of trying this to see if that saves me some cleanup, and it looks like it is. As I sit here and I'm liking this workstation more and more as I work at it daily. I've never sat down, like I told you before, to work. So now I'm getting comfortable, which probably means I'm taking too long to do it. I'm still getting a little bit of a mess in there, but that's okay. So my videos were like a little longer than normal, probably because I'm sitting here comfortable at my workstation. Just doing my thing. So long videos, less projects. I don't know. That's okay. It'll all be good in the end. We are making progress on the barn. We're coming up with a few ideas to make it go just a little bit quicker. We do have to wait for the AC guy though to get our AC put in that barn because I cannot do this out there without AC. Especially with the resin, needs to be a constant temp. I like to keep my house always at about 76 at all times, all year round. So that's what I want to make sure I do out there in the barn. That way I'm not getting flash cures if it's too hot, or it's not curing nicely if it's too cold. It can stay sticky if it's too cold. We've had that happen with my friend Maria when she was in North Carolina for a month. She had made a large pour clock and couldn't figure out. It wasn't curing. And finally we figured it out. It was because the temperature, she was up there in the winter, the temperature in the house she kept cold in the 60s. And it didn't cure right. And so that could be one of the issues. Oops, let me wipe my brush off. If your house is too cold in the wintertime, you may not get a good cure on your stuff. So saying all that, that's why I want to make sure that we get a constant temperature of about 76 degrees Fahrenheit all year round in that barn. So it's going to be a little while. But like I said, I'm so thankful for this workstation at the exact moment I needed one. I do have huge tool chests coming with cabinetry on top. We ordered 3 of those for the main wall. So I'm so excited to fill those up. Each one has so many drawers. And along with all the cabinets I brought, we should be in pretty decent shape. I need just a little bit with the little Q-tip. Oops. I picked out, I think it's Lemon by Octopus Inks, which you can get at Laura's Art Corner. And I pulled out the 64 pack by Let's Resin, and I pulled out Rose Gold, and I'm gonna do the alcohol ink drip inside of this one with clear resin. I'm just going around and getting all that edging off. Just get that extra green off so it's not there. So I'm just gonna drip it in and see what we get. I'm gonna try to get little swirl marks to make the flower have a little bit of dimension to it. Didn't want to go with a normal red rose for a change. Let's do something different. And when I was doing those rose jars for a couple orders that had pink tips, actually, that is a good idea. I think I can do that in here too. Well, I'm thinking like, should I paint the tips pink? But then, oops, I see some more as I'm thinking. I could paint the tips pink and then drip in the yellow. Is that a possibility? I do have a small brush to do that. I measured it with alcohol, so I see little bits of alcohol in here that I just want to dry if I'm going to be painting it. So now I can't make up my mind. Maybe that would be better then, because I think, I don't know, the rose gold might take over. Let me find the pink. Let me do that. I pulled out rose gold from the chrome powder set. How funny is that? And I think, well, let's try it in here first. I got a little teeny tiny brush. And I'm just gonna paint the tips. I just don't want it to look like painted, you know what I mean? I wanted it to look natural, which is why I was kind of hesitant. But I'm thinking this might be a good solution instead of having that metallic alcohol ink taking over. So I'm just going down there. Get yourself these tiny little brushes. These things are amazing. And just paint the little tips. And then we'll drip in the yellow. So that would be nice. I'll just do a little bit around this edge. That might be pretty. I mean, it's not like we can't do it another way later. I was just trying to avoid like a red rose because like most people are probably just gonna do a red rose. I'm just gonna pull it up the edge. Oh, I missed one. And then I gotta do it in the actual box too. I'm just gonna pull it up the side a little bit and then clean off what I don't want in there. Like that, and that, and that. And then we'll do that here because all the petals are around this edge. These are much larger petals. Oops. I don't need anything but what's in there actually. This might be a good idea. Sometimes some of my good ideas are not actually good ideas though, so. It's all the game of chance with resin. If you guys have not tried it yet and you're on the fence and you've been watching and you've been watching and you've been watching, this is your sign right now for me to tell you to jump in and do it. Give it a try. You're going to love it. What's the worst that can possibly happen? It doesn't cure? Okay, so what? Big deal. You try it again and you're gonna get better. And then you try it again and then you're gonna get better and you're gonna get better. We all had to try. I know there's a lot of you out there listening to my voice right now who are waiting for a sign for you to jump in and try it. Well, consider this your sign. And if that's you, let me know in the comments that that is you and you're gonna try it and you promise you're gonna just jump in. You don't need too much. You don't need all the fancy equipment. You just need resin, a little bit of coloring, a couple stir sticks, and off you go. I think that's good. Let me just grab I mean, if you're watching me all the time and you haven't done it but thinking about it, do you not see how many times I experiment and not know if it's gonna work? Well, that's how you need to treat this too. Just have fun. It's just a craft. You don't have to be perfect at it. You're gonna learn very quickly like everybody else. Oops. Okay, that's cool. I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some resin and we're gonna ink drop it. So one of the pink one came from the new kit of the chrome powders and the green one came from the original kit of the chrome powders.
Crafting a masterpiece that's gonna amaze. Glitz and glitter lighting up the night, painting dreams with a shimmer so bright. Rhinestones dancing, catching every eye. This is my moment, gonna touch the sky. Dipped in gold with a stroke of flare, diamonds shine in the midnight air. Glue and gems, they're my magic spell, turning the ordinary into something.
I changed my mind yet again. So I do want it yellow, but I'm afraid that the ink is just going to disperse and make the whole thing yellow when I wanted some swirls. So I pulled out the vanilla octopus ink. It's like a pastel and it's opaque. So I think I'm going to do the yellow and that in these two pieces, which I will pour first. This one I will do second. So can't spray it with alcohol because we got the powder in there. Let's hope my plan B works. Who knows? I'm gonna drip some in, even though I normally don't. What happened to the tip? Did it get squished in the move? I think I need to open it up again. I just happened to find my little thumbtack earlier. All right, let's see that. Yep, there it comes. Let me just shake it up again because it looks kind of thin on the top. There's a sediment on the bottom of these because I think they actually make it with like Sinker White or something because they are heavy, and then they like color the Sinker White. I don't know. I'm just guessing, so don't take my word for it, but that's what it reminds me of. All right, let's do the little one first. Let's see how it goes. We'll do that one, and I don't want like, let me move this out of my way. It's so hard to get used to sitting down, you guys. Try to get some of that to come off the silicone. I probably should have put some resin in there before I dripped, but I didn't. So I don't know if it's going to affect the piece. Let's try that. Very small stream. And I'm hoping it stays like that and doesn't, see, this is heavy. Maybe this was a mistake. It could like fall right to the front of that. Plus I dripped it right on the mold. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have thought of more clearly before I started pouring it, because it is a very heavy pigment. It may totally sink to the bottom, which will be our top. Just get that busted up. I'm trying to keep the swirls in it, is what I'm trying to do. All right, well, there's that one. Clean it off a little bit. And I'm gonna move it out of the way so I don't bump it. Okay. I think I'm going to put a layer. Let's just coat that. before I put any drops in there, because that is the front of our piece again. And we'll do two yellows. That's what I'm going for. Two different tones of yellow. Let's see what happens. We'll do the butterfly last, just to make sure I didn't measure incorrectly. I don't want them to merge together to make a new color. I want both colors is what I'm going for. Maybe I should stop saying what I'm going for and just pretend what I got in the outcome is what I was going for. Would that fool you guys? Probably not. Not trying to fool y'all. Just trying to tell you my thought process, because if it does work, then you know what to do. I don't really want to, like, as bad as I want to tip it around, I'm not going to. I could put it in the pressure pot, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just afraid that this was a bad choice now because it's a heavy pigment. Oh no. Once I get the back of this filled up, I'm just gonna do the rest in clear because it's not gonna matter behind the green what happens. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, let's get some now. This may sink. Most likely it's going to sink. There we go. And it's gonna run. I just want to make sure the color isn't gonna get bullied out of its place. I think I need to put a little bit more. As long as I have a ½ ounce left, we're golden. Not too bad. Let's get a little yellow. One drop at a time. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna work. I don't know if these colors are gonna look good together. I try to hold all my colors together in one hand and look at them all together before I go through with the pour to make sure they're kind of cohesive. But again, this was last minute. Do I have a ½ ounce? I do have a ½ ounce. Let's just clean this up so I don't get it all over myself. We don't need that anymore. It's not too bad. Now, if it doesn't sink, I'm happy with it. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's gonna sink. Not too bad. I think I'm gonna just leave it and leave. Little spritz. Okay, for the butterfly, I've got blue and turquoise, both by Let's Resin. This is my absolute favorite blue that they make of any brand, anywhere. The blue one. I don't know. I just love the color. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't want to go right onto the mold. I'm just going to put a little coat on the bottom. And I better get a spatula ready. I'm going to need to. Turquoise and blue. Let's see what happens. And then we'll do turquoise and blue. I'm trying to pour really slow so I don't wash it all to the sides. Looks like we need some more turquoise right there. Now it looks like we need more blue. We're gonna do a couple blue because I like the blue better. And it looks like I'm gonna have to scrape. Do the same thing right off my spatula. So 4 ounces was the exact amount I needed for both of them. I thought I would have like 1 cabochon left over, but I was wrong. Perfect. Let's see if it keeps those colors. That it looks, I think that's domed. I can't tell. Let me look from the side. I could put a little bit more in here. And that is everything, not even 1 extra today. This has already been wiped clean. Put a little drip in there. So I'm gonna let this sit on my table here for a couple of hours. Now this one's gonna cure at 2 different rates because the stem is much thinner than the actual jar part. So in about 2 to 3 hours, most likely I will turn my heat mat on to help speed it up because I do want to unmold it today. You can always just let it sit 24 hours, whatever fits your purpose. But that looks pretty good. Everything, what is that? A little piece of hair. I don't know where from. My dogs do not shed, so I don't know where that's from. All right, what do you think of the swirl? I like it. As long as it stays, I think we should be good. Then we have to see what that pink looks like. All right, guys, check out the comment of the day. I'll see you in a sec. It is cured and ready to cured and cooled, put it that way. It's like 10:30 at night, so they're definitely ready to come out. Now, as you can see from the backs, they look pretty swirled. So let's hope we can see it from the front. But we're gonna keep you in suspense and look at the butterfly first, because I know you all love butterflies. Let me get something white. Here, let me grab this. And see, we can see both colors. It's very pretty and it's a nice size. You know, this would make a great handle for one of those upside down, I call them upside down lids that they make where the facets are underneath. This is a perfect size for that. There's gems on all the sides of it. Didn't do too bad for not using a pressure pot. You can barely see any bubbles, if any. I don't even, well, there's like tiny ones. You're never ever going to notice that on something like this, but that is really pretty. I don't know that there's anything I would do to it. Typically when I see these little pearls, I sometimes highlight them, but I'm going to have to look at it for a couple minutes before I make that decision. Okay, this one, like I said, I think we can use it. Yeah, we can just use it by itself as a handle too, or on something else. Well, that's not too bad. Now, like I said, this is a matte mold. Here's the pink tips that I did. These came out like, oh, you know why? Because the coloring changed the color, which it shouldn't have because it's a chrome, but I barely put any on. But look at the color difference. That's pink and that's like orangey. Well, that's really interesting. That's not what I was going for, but it's not bad. Now, the vanilla did drop, but it's not horrible. I actually kind of like it. Okay, well, we kind of know what we're going to get with this one. Let's see. I'm very surprised that that pink color changed. It better have changed on this now. Yeah, it did, which is so strange to me. So the color behind it must have changed because it was such a light color. Now here's a little jar. Isn't that cute? You cannot even tell that it's a jar when it's put together. That is so cute. And you know, it's not bad. I don't mind all those extra colors. It just gives it, and you could see the swirls. Pretty happy with it, actually. That is cute. It's about, well, it's smaller than my hand. That is a cute little ring jar. I'm pretty happy with that. What do you think? So I would have liked all the tips to be that pink color, but that is so strange and I can't even answer why. I'm guessing the pink and the yellow turned it the orange, but it didn't do it here or here. And I'm wondering if it's because that vanilla kept it pink. So interesting. See, now I don't really want to cover these edges now that I made the edges pink, because I typically would cover the edge with something. Let me think about it for a minute. Let me see if I'm going to do anything to it. I pulled out the famous glitter glue. I couldn't not add anything to it. Actually, well, that one needs trimmed. Let me do that. I'm not going to do anything to this one because I don't have my sander available, so I'm just going to use a knife. And be careful. I have never really cut myself doing this, and I know a lot of you like hold your breath when I'm doing this. No need to worry. I'm good. I'm good. Then I'm just going to take my Resin Restore and get rid of those cut marks. So you guys know you're a couple weeks behind me, right? 2 to 3, 2.5 usually. I'm waiting on my brand new black bottles to come in for the Resin Restore. And they're not in, and they're a couple months late, and I'm really upset about it because I've been out of stock. I don't know if they're in stock. You could check the link in the description box. If they are, it will tell you here they're here. If not, they're still waiting. So they're not only did they ship them late, but I ordered them before I even knew I was buying a house, put it that way. By the time they shipped, we had purchased the house and had the moving date. And then I was freaked out because I spent a ton of money on bottles in black. So they're going to be black. They have a nicer brush. I mean, as you watch the videos, they could already be there. I don't know. Like I said, I'm ahead of you guys. I have nicer bottles. You don't have to keep them in the box anymore because now I have black bottles. Beautiful brush on the inside. As long as they sent me the right brush, you'll be really happy with this one. So I had to upgrade everything because of the it's not UV resin. Because of the UV quality of one of the ingredients, you cannot keep the clear bottle in the daylight near a window or whatever. So I finally finished with all those clear bottles. And now the black ones are either coming still or they're here. So now I need to just keep them in stock and filled and whatever. So that's another thing. So I'm not going to go all the way up because I don't want to cover my tips. I'm literally just doing partials. Just to give it just a little bit of sparkle. Not a lot, just a little. You know I can't do something. You know I can't do a project without a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to cover one tip just to do some. So yeah, if you're waiting on the Resin Restore, check the link. Like I said, I'm a couple weeks ahead of you. They better be here any day. I'm getting really tired of waiting. Really upset. I don't think I'm ever going to order from those manufacturers again. But I ordered like 1,000 bottles, so I think I will have plenty for quite a while before I have to worry about finding somebody else to supply them for me. But I think you'll be happy with that bottle, and that brush is much nicer. All right, I also put it in there, so I think I'm going to do that in here. Oops. And you know, this is not permanent stuff. This is just glue. It will wash off if you don't like it. So if you do use glitter glue, please let the people know who's buying your pieces not to wash the pieces. If they want that glitter glue to stay, don't like stick them under soapy water or something. Just wipe them down with a damp cloth. And don't submerge them in the water because the glue will come off. I'm just going down that center vein line. And I can't reach, that's why I pulled out a scribe. The bottle is not reaching down, so I'm just dragging it with my scribe. Trying to reach as far as I can, which is not far enough. Right down the center. And then I'm just going to drag it down. Now this takes quite a while to dry. It's not instantaneous. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on just so I can see it as it's getting done. And I forgot to trim it, so I will trim it tomorrow. See, I'm so used to sanding everything, resin restoring everything, and then finishing. But I'm out of my element here. I'm just going to do a little bit. Not a lot. Because I want some bling bling. All right. Sometimes it gets clogged and you have to let the air, I don't know. It must be like a thick piece of glitter trying to get out that spout. Because it does that to me a lot. I don't want to cover that color, all those colors. So we got pink, like almost like a white, yellow, and like a coral. So actually I'm pretty happy with the outcome. It's unexpected. Like I was telling you, if you took your sign today, you're gonna get things you didn't expect, which comes with the territory. But that's the fun of it. Then you could try it again and see if you could do it, and maybe you'll get something even better, like a happy accident. There, I think that's all I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. Cool. I really like that mold. That is so pretty. So pretty. I love it. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with this. I mean, you could put silver. Where did I do it, my silver pen? Oh, I put it away. But it's so hard. They're gonna be hard to reach down here with that silver paint pen that I like. So I think I'm just gonna leave this the way it is, and it's gonna be, or already has been, in one of your packages. All right, guys, well, that's it for today. I will get back to either the resin mold box or the Into Resin tomorrow. So you have to come back and see what I'm doing. I will see you guys later. Have a blessed day. Check out the pictures.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts. Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes. A radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart.